against Stefano, which was a great thing. But obviously he's done a lot more in his career. But that's really something that stands out, because in that moment Stefano's PvZ was, or CVP, was almost untouchable. Like the way he steamed through the NASL Season 3 finals, beating Alicia, beating MC. That looked amazing. And then us shutting him down at MLG Summer Arena, I believe.
Everybody was saying, does Stefano have the best PvZ or ZVP in the world? And I think most people were saying, yeah, I think maybe he does. Because it was at a time where Korean Zergs were starting to lose to some Korean Protoss players with a little bit more regularity. Yeah. And Stefano just wasn't slowing down, beating some really good Korean Protoss players on his run through the North American Star League Season 4-3 final. Man, numbers are hard, Kevin.
They are.
They are really hard. They're almost as hard as math. Oz, once again, we'll put this Forge up in his main base. We were talking a little bit about this during the break. In fact, our switcher back there was like, oh yeah, this is Forge fast expand with the Forge not exposed. Forge is not there at the front where it's going to be picked off. Yeah, sure. You also kind of conceal the Forge, so you're not necessarily positive if that upgrade's spinning or not. But it does present another sort of range of problems in that you need an extra structure to wall off. It forces extra investment.
And also, this game and the spawning pool of Hyun was a little bit quicker. I believe it was 13, but correct me if I'm wrong. And this is one of the things that I was sort of worried about, because how are you going to deal with this right now, Ben? I don't think you can get a full wall of ult if you drop a Nexus. So unless you really delay the Nexus, you can still get a full wall of. Otherwise, I don't think he's able to get a full wall of. So, Oz, how are you going to deal with this? I'm curious to see how many links Hyun is going to make as well.
He's only going to make one set of lings, though. He's got extra larva, and he's
maybe he just made a quicker pool in case he would get blocked or cannon rushed, because he knows that Oz is a big fan of those early pools.
Makes me a little bit sad, because I do love it when I see players go with the 13 pool, 12 pool. It's a build that Nurtio really popularized. Cannon's already down at the front, though, so maybe that's all Oz really would have needed.
If 6 links run by, 6 links run by, I think 3 or 4 will get up to the ramp, and that's really annoying. Because even when the Zealot is out, you're still not going to be able to deal with this. You know all about that. As Zerg player, I know Ben. Whenever I see Ben play StarCraft and I see he's smiling, I know he has links in the Protoss space. Ben doesn't get very happy often, but that's one of those moments when he gets happy. And you know how frustrating it can be. This is nice, by the way. Us hiding that probe in one of the corners of Ohana.
Hidden pylon. No telling what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't even think necessarily he's going to build a pylon, Ben, but it's just nice to get the ultimate confirmation out. You can see, you can take a look at the extractors if they're down already or not, or if there's any crazy layer timing. Whenever you're watching a game, man, it's always so laid back to say, oh, nothing really funky is happening. But the moment you play a competitive game, every little bit of vision you can get is so nice, because you're worried about everything. Because when there's something on the line, Ben, it's just different. Since obviously you can't see as much as we do.
Oz does go ahead and reveal that probe, does the little run by, sees, all right, no gases taken in the main. That's a very, very important thing for him to spot. And he's even going to preserve that probe long enough to confirm that nothing.
Queens are very slow off creep.
Confirm that Queens can shoot really far now with this extra range, and confirm that his life was worth only a few spines, a few Queen spines.
X score is up. I'm curious to see if he's going to go for quick +1 once more. It seems like Oz is going for a very similar build, Ben, at least some gateway aggression. Maybe he's going to switch it up. Maybe it's going to be 6 gates this time, as he realized that the 4 gate +1 got shut down pretty hard. He's taking both as simulators already in his natural. By this time in the previous game, Ben, he had 1 mining as simulator and he was warping in the second one. Now it's going to go up to 4. That's a really big difference.
Of course, the one thing to consider, that Overlord right over those assimilators. Yeah. Maybe this is a fake. We're going to have to wait and see. Sentry does come over to make sure that the Overlord exits in due time. And immediately we do have probes mining gas. So I do think we're going to see Oz continue to tech up. Robo going right down. Ohana, a very popular map for the old tried and true Immortal push, Kev.
Yep, certainly. Once you get up in the natural of Zerg, it's just so hard. It's so awesome for Protoss to force field around and make it so extremely hard for those Zerg units to get close. But we'll see. Oz, of course, has done it before, but he doesn't really strike me as the Robo Sentry player.
Yeah, it's not really what you're accustomed to. Oz's builds are always a little bit unique, right? They're always something that you haven't quite seen exactly in that form before. So I'm pretty eager to see exactly where he takes this. Meanwhile, in the base of Hyun, we can see that he is going up to layer, working on just 2 gases. Roachhorn, Evo Chamber, still droning really hard.
Yeah.
61 drones already. Didn't pause to make any units. He's just been straight up macro mode the whole way.
First Immortal gets chrono boosted out immediately, has the Overlord over here, can check those simulators. One of the things that Naruto told me, which I think is very awesome, let's say you're trying to go for a 6 gate plus 1 ban. If you want to sell it really convincingly, you can take both the simulators in the natural, but stop mining gas in your main. So Zerg will think you're mining off 4 gases, might be a little bit more greedy than he would normally be, while you're actually on 6 gates saving up minerals and trying to go all out. Which is, well, not really what we see right now, but it's something that could have happened. Then again, on Ohana, it's just hard because if you want to sell something like that, you also need to make sure that your opponent can't really take the eyeballs, if you know what I mean with the eyeballs.
The Zelnaga Towers. We do have 6 gates down for Oz, though. Or is that even 7 gates?
If you guys missed our little pre-show, I was playing a game with Lauren and Elise. And I said, Lauren, can you please take the Zelnaga Watchtowers? She's like, what? You mean the eyeballs? I was like, okay, Lauren, the eyeballs.
Lauren has her own special way of playing StarCraft, Kevin. We all do. I mean, Elfie is a top player.
Elfie is a fantastic, successful player, man. Well, Hyun is going to take control of this northern Zelnaga Watchtower once more. Well, Oz, this is not as scary yet, but still, speed is going to kick in, Ben. Once more, the sentries and Immortals get surrounded. Oz, what are you doing?
Just terrible. Wow. Immediately GG.
Wow.
Yeah, that was...
I mean,
that was anticlimax. Also, Oz's first official loss here in the North American Star League, Kevin. Not the way that you want to have it happen, but
so careless.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that one.
I'm really kind of speechless.
I'm completely speechless.
Because the funny thing is that Oz is preparing for an all-in attack, which is supposed to be very scary and hard to defend. Instead, it gets shot down on his half of the map. Of course, on this moment, he has 900 minerals, and he wants to drop a forward pylon. He wants to go for a big warp in. One more big warp in 45 seconds after that. Then suddenly you have plus 16 gateway units, and it's a whole different ballgame.
Did he even drop a single force field?
Yeah, he dropped force fields, but he tried to force field away because the links were slow, and it was like, oh, chill out links, and suddenly speed kicked in, so the links immediately surrounded, and he already used the force fields in a sort of defensive manner. Trying to buy time for warp and didn't happen.
Unfortunate turn of events there for Oz, who goes down very quickly 0-2 to Hyun. What were your predictions for that first game?
I predicted Hyun to win.
As did I. We've got some more great games coming up. I think our next one's going to be Hwangson versus Targa.
Yes, that's cool too.
Should be another really fun ZVP. Of course, these two guys, both their own little stories, as Targa is reaching a point of some pretty good success in his career.
No doubt. It's actually going serious with his esports career. For the people who don't know, Targa was a huge troll in the Warcraft 3 community. Even though he was a pretty good player as well, but Norway had one super good player, and we often only had a few events per year where only one guy would represent Norway, and that would always be Creophilus. So Targa kind of had his own little group of friends, and he was a good player, but never had the ambition to go super pro, go to events. But over the last 2-3 months, he's been making a serious splash on the scene. Well, even last season already in the NASL, he did surprisingly well. But, of course, DreamHack Valencia was his real big breakthrough.
We'll see more from Targa and more from Hwangson, guys, after our next break. I want to say that last game brought to you guys by Azo Monitors, the best, brightest, and highest performance gaming and production monitors on the planet. Go over to azo.com/NA to pick up your own Azo monitor today. Don't go anywhere, guys. Game number 1, Targa versus Hwangson, when we get back.